Hey everybody, Rodham here for another episode of the Desert Survival Series. And I received a whole lot of suggestions from all of you, so I want to go over that right now. One of the first suggestions would be Kira and Jekapaz, meaning to say, move this beacon back. What I'm going to do is actually plop the beacon outside. In fact, what I'll try to do is set it up so that it is powered. I think a powered beacon is probably more likely to cause enemies to pod to it than an unpowered one. Again, haven't tested this, but I do know that enemies target beacons, so I will fix that much. Never Forgotten mentioned that charge rifles would be awesome. A lot higher DPS than these Lancers, and he's right. The Lancers are particularly useful for taking out centipedes. Centipedes are the toughest mechs. They're the big ones. Okay, Earth, you are currently food poisoned, so it takes you so long to crunch that. Oh, it's so noisy. But the charge rifles are more damage per second. They are the ones here. So that would be a really good thing to do. At the moment, I currently have a severe lack of components, so I want to catch up on my component crafting first. And then we can keep the charged lances. Well, we can put the charged lances on the other pawns, like Jenny, Milla, possibly Mudge, because they're still going to be useful. Didotub mentioned that I should store EMP nades near our kill box and spike traps near the turrets. So I actually had planned the spike traps near the turrets, but it's good that you mentioned it. I put the EMPs a little bit out of the way there, and I don't have any steel, so that's a bit of a problem. Well, once we get some steel, I'll put traps down. We have a lot of slag, and we have plenty of steel that we could mine. So that's not an issue. Ooh, that is a pretty sculpture. Looks like a double helix to me. Omni has a somewhat impressive... who is next? Milla. Maybe Milla. I'm just going to go with whoever's currently lowest mood. And not think about it too much. It would be more bang for the buck if actually... Let me think about it a little bit more. If it went into a room that had a pair... Omni's going to get his regardless, but... that would make more sense. So... storing EMP mines, or rather the traps, also would be a pretty good thing if I had an EMP trap storage nearby. And then that way when I get potted on, I can very quickly install traps where I need to install them. That's another thing I'm going to do. I'm going to try to basically over-engineer the problem. Okay, so other suggestions. Chillin' Part mentioned I might want to move this psychic emanator because it is in the middle of the hallway and thus in a huge, in a spot likely to be destroyed. So that's a very, very good point. I think I want to keep the hospital and the workshop as covered as I can. So what I'll do is I'll put it here. And that way it is slightly out of the way where it's not going to get shot and destroyed, but it will still continue to work. Macho Master mentioned that if I put a door roughly here, I can get moving a little... You know what? Yeah, I could get moving a little bit faster, but actually the amount of work that would involve probably doesn't make it worth it. You're not wrong. It would min-max the commute time, but given that this is somewhat of a straight line to the base, I think it's okay. Mr. Luigi mentioned or rather suggested that I should look at my expand home zone to fix the kill box. And I actually don't really need to do that, do I? because I have a giant overarching inclusivity kill box going on here. Another thing I wanted to do is, I guess with sandstone blocks, is to... Where's my sandstone? I'm having troubles with my eyes today. Is to set up a deadfall trap run if I want it. That makes perfect sense to me. I really don't need this roofed. In fact, it makes us move slower, so I'm just going to get rid of the roofs on some of them. Now, we did want a... actually, we want a roof on this one. This was going to be a forward hospital, so what I'll do is I will double door this. I'll keep some of this here and double door it. And this will become a micro hospital. The micro forward hospital that I promised. Alright, there we go. And that will be somewhat more of a secure room. For this to be a hospital, we also need a lamp. We'll need a shelf of drugs, and we'll need a hospital bed. All things that I can't really afford at the moment. And then, additionally, it doesn't need sterile tile, but wouldn't hurt. So there's that hospital. And that was a leftover from last episode. And the last suggestion is from Super Guy, which was if I put the anything stockpile in the middle, I can reorganize my stockpiles much faster. So what I can do here is... Wow, I have a lot of kibble. That's a really good idea. I'm just going to leave it the way it is now. But for the Black Lake series, that's something I can utilize for sure. At this point, given that I have enough Devil Strand for a duster, I think I should queue one of them up. Where are you, Omni? Sowing daylilies? Well, I'm going to repair and then tailor. So you can see we are very quickly throwing all of our excess components in and steel into EMPs. I definitely learned my lesson, and I'm taking the robot enemies quite seriously. They're very scary. That noise to me normally... 8 without a table, 8 cooked insect meat. Oh, wow. You're an ascetic. You shouldn't mind the insect meat. But he did anyway. I'm still going to make him eat it. Alright, here we go. Here is our Devil Strand Duster. We're starting to get these sensors. Now, realistically, maybe a bunch of cowboy hats would have been better for the Devil Strand, but it's too late. Duster's made. And we can give this to maybe Mudge. He's a local hero. I will do that because we all like him. Alright. Looking good. We are cranking out some steel. Quell, what are you working on? You are... digging here. Next, I would like you to be mining. We're unrestricted. Why? No path. Is there truly no path? There must be. What is going on? What do you mean no path? Yeah, no, there's a path. We're going to the other section of steel first, I think. Nope, just gonna rest. Okay. Slowly stockpiling our EMPs. Now that we have a teeny bit of steel, what I can do with this teeny bit of steel is to... oh, it's too close. What I'll do is uninstall these and keep them on a shelf nearby. So we will install a shelf here, and I can use the EMPs on demand. So they're not just sitting around waiting for a camel to trip on them or something. I don't think my pawns would, but the camels could. I have never really put traps in before. So, there they are. EMP traps. Alright, Miss Quell, I have work for you to do. I have digging for you to do. So let's wake you up and get you going. We have a thirst for steel in our community. There is some weird zoning going on. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I don't like it. Where I'm not able to queue up tasks. As you can see, I can't get there, for instance. And I'm not sure why the game thinks I can't get there. It's an issue I'll figure out once it becomes more serious. She's mining one-eyed right now. Just keep that in mind. Let's get another eye in there, right? That seems to be the nice thing to do. Who else needs parts? Let's take a look. Eye and a kidney. That's about it. Now that people are exiting their bedrooms, we can definitely go and install some sculptures. What this is doing is bringing their... Ooh, very impressive room. Somewhat impressive rooms. A slightly better bedroom. For instance, a very impressive bedroom of Jenny. If we look at the bonuses that this supplies, needs, we'll have the extremely impressive dining room is a 6, rec room is a 6, and bedroom is a 5. Those are all free mood points that really help to keep our pawns happy and productive. Did all my traps get reinstalled down here? Probably. I'd rather have them down there for now. We'll crank more out if we need them. Now, I know a lot of you are going to cringe briefly, but I am going to set up a caravan. I'll continue this caravan for a little bit. I don't like pick up and haul because I don't like mods that change the way the game works, but at the same time, I don't think doing it once in a blue moon is all that intrusive. And this is a unique scenario where a bunch of slag is on the extreme edge of the map, so not that big of a deal. And I can just send a lot of pawns for it. What I will need, however, is a very large stockpile for all this stuff, because there was a lot of mechs that, or a lot of enemies that was down there. Santiago, Philly and O'Connell are headed down. Quell's gonna dig out the meteorite. So Philly can get removed and haul the last one back. And then... Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. I thought I had added him to the caravan, but I didn't. But we're just about done. All set. I didn't realize there was overworld metal still around, but that's good to know. We can get that built. All this extra steel will help to resupply our community with the things we need, which is really cool. Look at that speed. It's kind of incredible how fast she is. Mining now. She is a 19 miner. I guess that makes sense. Alright, this is... Do we have an eye? Yes, we have... Santiago has started an eye for her. But Omni is hogging the controls to craft up components, so I guess that makes sense. We're cranking out a whole bunch of go juice for trade mostly. That all will be put to good use. Still have some tables and whatnot that got busted up. Quell, you get this one. Alright, here we go. Got 2 traps right there. Just sitting there, ready to be installed on a as-needed basis. And most of the kill box is all set with their own installations. An exciting development. I feel ready for worst case scenarios to happen. Now, another real advantage of being on Luciferium is you don't really have to worry about organ damage from combat drug usage. So drugs like Go Juice or Wake Up can cause organ problems, brain damage, stuff like that. And when you have Luciferium, brain damage goes away. It does go away over time. Like, it's not instant, sure, but it's not permanent either. So that's one of the real strengths of it. A little bit of a solar flare. Gonna check up on my elephants, see how soon they'll spoil. Now, what's interesting during solar flares, all of the pawns end up doing weird tasks for a bit because most of their tasks involve electricity in some regard. So now everyone is interested in hauling, and I'm trying to tell them to haul the steel and not the stone. I don't think I need any more stone. Santiago here is going to deliver the trap. And they also do some construction tasks. So here I will put... This is interesting. If I put herbal... Yeah, I don't think I can use a shelf here. I'm going to move the shelf Milla. And the reason for it is I don't necessarily want to put a giant stack of it there. So what I'm going to do instead is just put a few there and forbid it for when we need it. It's probably the right move. Getting the trap maze set up. We also ought to put a door at the end of there. Oh, and a heat wave. At least we're in heading towards winter for the heat wave, but that will limit our ability to trade. Okay, this... Additionally, I got to keep an eye on the elephants. Now I can reset these spoil timers by butchering them. But I'm hoping the solar flares don't usually last that long. It's lasted 9 hours so far. And I don't think... Oh, there it is. I was about to say, I don't think it's going to last much longer. But I could be wrong. Now, the real negative effects of this is I had a lot of crops lost. I probably could have honestly harvested the psychoid leaves if I was paying attention. I wasn't. I was off in La La Land doing something else. And we went from having no steel to having about 900 of it in a quick blink. That really says something about combining human effort. Alright, all sewn up, and we'll sew the rest. Mudge has been binging. Shame on you, Mudge. Somewhat impressive. I'm feeling better and better about this. So one thing I could do is, for the areas of animals, I'm going to not allow them to move near these turrets. And the reason why is I will put steel spike traps in them, like that. And that will help with any scythers, for sure. I'm going to be using the steel mini turrets as bait, so I'll bait up the spike traps around them. Oh, speaking of which, Jenny, how about you repair some of these deer spike traps, or blaststeel turrets? That one flew under the radar, not seeing that. And here's the bionic eye. Santi, I want her to finish it, because then I'm going to send her on a little bit of a trade tour. Okay, so we got the bionic eye for Quell, and we will install it. It's left-eyed. And these traps are definitely expensive, but they'll only really go off when I'm screwed, you know? They're not going to go off when things are easy. Now, we have a lot of camel hair. We have enough cowboy hats. I could make the camel hair into dusters and tribal wear, but I don't think it gets hot enough to warrant it, if I'm being honest. Okay, so 10 traps in there. I haven't trapped the maze yet. I haven't actually tested this out in full either, which I'm excited to do. Haven't even finished my pocket area. So there's still a lot of construction projects outstanding. And there we go. Mudge is demudged. That was a lot faster than I thought it would take. His permanent brain injury is gone. He is a fully functioning They're actually more than fully functioning at this point. Pawn. Wow, okay. So, looking at his bio, he's a good shooter and meleeer and miner. We can start to change his preferences. So we'll put him back on mining. And actually, he has a pretty remarkable social skill, too. So we'll put him on wardening. He has really been through the ringer, hasn't he? And yeah, I'm just trying to think of what else I could do for him. But hey, he's doing pretty good. He's still hypersensitive. Okay. He's not immortal, certainly, so I gotta be careful with him. But he's probably over the moon that he is healed. Unfortunately, the storytelling mechanics don't really detect when they have permanent injuries removed. That would be a level I'd not expect for the game to go into. But nonetheless, I am excited. So well done, Mudge. He's not much of a constructor, though. Mr. Mudge, you are going to flick this drill back on. We did have a drill destroyed, so it wouldn't be a terrible idea to install a new one. And I did want to send Santi to go trading, so we will launch. It's kind of midday, so what I'm going to do is have her eat, have her take some wake up. We have room for a new statue. He's pretty fast. All right, Santi taking wake up, drinking her tea, and then launching her. And I could send Pudge and Mudge, or Pudge and Fudge rather, but I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna get the good tribal wear out because we can do better than good. The cloth cowboy hat as well. All of the steel. And I'm looking at the caravan mass. Give her some meals. They won't spoil anytime soon, so we'll be alright with that. And the go juice. Actually, I'm changing my mind. So I'm going to launch all three. The heat wave should be only localized around here, I hope. So we'll take that chance. Give her a bunch of meals. And then let's have her take some real stuff. So, cowboy hat. Anything cloth. Because I'll start using the camel hair. All the tusks. We have a bunch of tusks to cut off of the corpses. That sounds really dark when I say it like that. I made like a grimacing face. I'm going to bring the meds as well. I'm going to bring 40 of them. Leave some meds behind, but bring 40 of them for trade. Bring all the elephant leather as well. Bring the camel hide, because right now we only have camel hair. What else can I bring? That looks... Oh, and a bunch of the kibble. Let's bring 1,000 of the kibble. Okay, that looks pretty good. That's a lot of stuff. Maybe I'll bring some gold too. I'll bring 100 gold. That is a big trade here. Luckily, Santi's the one loading it all. Well, and others, but Santi's definitely the driving force behind loading it quickly. Alright, let's get Fudge in there. Someone load Fudge. I don't want all these people to go to sleep, having not loaded. I guess Fudge will be saved last. I don't know what that little alert was about. I think someone was heading to Fudge, and Fudge was like eating or something. Temporarily occupied. No, we haven't even started loading the okay, Mr. Mudge. I'm going to have you take Wake Up. We haven't even started loading the kibble, so I need extra hands on this. Where is Quell? Oh, that's exactly where I want Quell to be. Who knew this trade would take so long? Okay, everyone's in here. Seems so. I'm going to visit. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to put the pods back and trade. So let's see what they got. They have a liver, but no lungs. Well, that's a bit of a disappointment. They also don't have any architect stuff. They have soothers and lances, which could be useful. I'm still going to sell off my stuff for the silver that we can trade for. Now this is probably, we're starting to go into things they can't afford. We can buy a mega screen. Well, we already have a mega screen TV. I was thinking of the other series. Any uranium stuff? No, they don't have any uranium stuff. What about hyperweave? Do they have hyperweave? They have plasteel. Oh, they do have hyperweave. I'm gonna buy I'm gonna buy all of it. And the reason I'm buying all of it is hyperweave is basically the best stuff you can make clothing out of. And I really would like hyperweave for my meleeers. Desperately, in fact. Okay, looking good. We still could buy some more plasteel, but I think I'm going to end up with positive silver, because what we'll end up doing is we will visit the other place to trade as well. Well, guys, I've gone a little bit over my time, but you all know what I'm up to. If you have any feedback for me, drop me a line, and hopefully I'm able to buy some lungs soon. And if you have any questions, you can always reach me in Discord as well. Hop onto the website for the link for that. And I'll have to catch you all later. Thank you all for watching, and adios.